Today we're talking about Kyle Crane, otherwise known as Kyle Gordy, on the show Love in Paradise. He changed his last name because he caught so much heat in the donor community and so many people already didn't like him that he once again resorted to trickery and thought to himself, how will they know? If I change my name from Crane to Gordy, will they still know it's me? Probably not. And as we covered in the last video, he has known genetic issues that he doesn't communicate to these women that he has in advance. They have to find out after the fact, and then when they contact him about this, he just brushes it off.
You need to earn my lovin'. You have to earn it. There's points. We do a point system.
No, we're not doing a point system.
We are definitely doing a point system.
You have to earn my lovin', and if you earn enough points, you get to kiss me. Isn't that a fun prize? So Creepy Kyle had Annie pick him up from the airport and then drive him to his Airbnb because he already wants his own personal space. He doesn't want to live with her and her son.
I got my own place in Malta because it's uncomfortable for me to share living space with other people because I like my sleep, I like my quiet.
Kyle says he's gonna go hit his sit-up and hit some crunches on his bed. After only hitting 9 crunches though, he talks about how important it is to stay in good physical shape. So all you gym rats, learn a thing or two from Kyle. He's trying to put you on. But seriously, no wonder he looks like one of those worms from Men in Black. Of course it's the dude that is tired after only 9 crunches, trying to re-populate the world in his image. You actually can't make it up, you guys.
I've had a few women that I've donated sperm to that have caught feelings for me, but I haven't really returned the favor.
I've been talking to smoking hot babes all day. True story, Kyle also tried to argue in his Vice documentary that he's smart because his entire family is smart and worked official jobs, so his smarty pantsness got passed down. I'd like to imagine that when Kyle runs into a problem he can't solve himself, he enters the incel state and is able to access all of the memories of his past incel family members. Kyle told on himself. In one of my past videos, we covered the conversation he had with one of his incel friends where he insinuated that black girls' vaginas smell. Yet fast forward years later, we have video footage of him showing up to dinner without even bothering to shower after traveling, wearing stank. But are we surprised that this weird little narcissist couldn't take accountability and instead chose to blame that odor on an entire race of people? Oh, I'm not gonna apologize, I'm just gonna actively watch every single video that's critical of me on the internet and report it to YouTube. Okay, seriously? You guys better stop making fun of me on the internet, seriously.
You really come in sport clothes.
There's other people here with shorts though.
Oh,
you
really?
know? Yeah, I think it's normal to wear shorts. I've seen shorts around Malta.
Americans are just more chill, whereas Europeans, I feel, grew up in the olden times, right? Because America is kind of a newer country. Wow, that sure do be sweet of Kyle to give us all a history lesson. Any excuse to dress like a slob, eh, buddy? Kyle's doing that thing that the majority of the NPCs do when they speak in generalizations and assume that they speak for the entire nation they're from. It's not the case. Whether it's your first date with a woman or your 100th date, you should dress up out of respect for yourself and your date. Kyle feels like he found the loophole in the simulation because, speaking of history, throughout history, men have had to put in effort to attract women. However, because Creepy Kyle preys on women that are desperate for a free sperm donation, he doesn't feel like he needs to put in any effort. He goes on to say to the audience, so the Europeans are still in the past, like where everyone dressed up, they wore their little wigs, they wore their little gowns. I think the expectation is that they should dress up, but to me, I want to build our connection on the inside. What can I say? Typical Kyle, constantly providing an excuse when anyone calls him out for anything.
When we go in the restaurant, come in properly, like dressed up
but
for
we don't do that in America. We do whatever.
If you love me, you do it for me then, though.
Don't think about it.
Here's the thing, buddy. No one expects you to show up to dinner dressed like King Edward VII. However, you could have easily showered after traveling today and thrown on some pants before your first dinner in Malta with your girl.
No, I mean, really, with this point system doesn't make sense.
It's a good point system.
Annie then tells Kyle that it sure would be nice to share a drink together and celebrate their first night in Malta, and he reminds her that she loses points for that. Then Kyle starts choking himself while he's eating, or at the very least putting his hand on his throat as he's shoveling food into his mouth. And I'm not sure if this is a new fetish or not, but let's keep an eye on that because this is weird. Clearly all table manners are out the window. Kyle is slurping on these noodles harder than the Dragon Warrior. Kyle's asking Annie if she's gonna finish the rest of her food because because he wants to lick the plate. I'm assuming that he built up one hell of an appetite in London when he was filling up another girl.
It's like only kids do
I don't
this.
want to waste food.
Don't do this.
So while Kyle is gorging himself like a dwarf, Annie says to the audience, "Through video chat, I fall in love with this sweet, kind, cute guy, and I knew he was weird, but this?" And it's interesting that she should say that because other victims of Kyle have communicated the same thing, that he presents himself very differently over the phone versus in person. So let's put ourselves in these women's shoes for a second. You don't want to go to the clinic because it's wildly expensive. You want to get pregnant real bad. And this man presents himself as a nice person over the phone. You pay for his hotel and travel expenses. He arrives. If you already paid for this incel's travel and hotel, you're going to be more inclined to just let him smash and get it over with. Otherwise, it's a waste of money. If Kyle showed his true intentions and character to these women from the start, I highly doubt he would have as many children as he does.
Since there seem to be not so many people right now in the restaurant, I'm glad because I would feel very embarrassed if anyone would be around us.
Okay, but you're not embarrassed to let this worm bust inside of you? Make it make sense. And I get that Annie's going for the whole I can change him route, but I'm more inclined to believe Alley Cat's conclusion about their relationship.
I don't waste food. That's a good
really?
thing.
Okay, we can eat the food, but you don't need to slurp it, okay?
Okay, fellas. You crying, boy? You crying, boy?
It kind of hurts that she's embarrassed by the way I'm eating. I know Europeans are all about this etiquette, but Americans, we don't do that. Because they have etiquette school in France, I believe, but we don't really do that in America. I have a French baby mama, so I know.
Wowzers, my guy, you got a French baby mama you donated your sperm to? That is so cool, Kyle. Play along, you guys. I'm trying to make this video visible. Oh shit, what else do I say to Kyle? So, what's your sperm's 40-yard dash time?
Did you eat your chicken?
Why you want my chicken?
No, I don't want your chicken.
No, I'm going to
I
eat
want you
it.
to get big and strong, that's why. Good girl.
If a creepy dude of this magnitude flat out tells you that he wants you to eat more to be big and strong and calls you a good girl and you don't get up to walk away, I have a lot of questions and concerns.
You know how I love my bat scratchers?
No, I don't know.
I told you this. I love those.
Okay.
And that's a requirement.
Kyle proceeds to show Annie where he wants his back scratched, and when she does it, he calls her a good girl once again. As we know from the women Kyle took advantage of, he said that phrase to a lot of women.
You gonna miss me?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit?
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
Ooh.
All right, okay.
I feel special.
It's giving me the ick. Imagine this dude's inside of you calling you a good girl, the trauma. And speaking of trauma, one time during high school, I farted really loud during a math exam, and as embarrassing as that was, I promise, it smelled better than Kyle's stanky dick. My wet socks, let me know in the comments what you think about our least favorite naked mole rat Kyle. If you have some spare coin, please check out our Your Wet Sock channel membership program for the exclusive content, the custom emojis, all ad-free videos, 10 out of 10, totally worth.